King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Live from the Plantation. I'm Spartacus 2.0, a.k.a. Jerry Metcalf, and with me, as usual, upstairs across the prison gallery on his own phone is Lucifer777.
What's good? What's good?
All right. Today we got our good friend Randall with us here to discuss prison reform. So with that being said, Seven, get us started.
Okay. First and foremost, how are you today, my brother?
Man, I am blessed to be alive.
Okay. Most definitely. And if you would, could you tell the people about yourself, a little about yourself?
Yes, thank you. First and foremost, let me thank God for waking me up. Let me thank you all for having me on this podcast.
Okay.
My name is Randall Lefevre. L-E-S-E-V as in Victor, R-E. I'm located at Thumb Correctional Facility in Lapeer, Michigan. 51 years old. Been in and out of prison since the age of 16, with accumulation of 2 years on the streets.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, most definitely. You big on change, right? I attend prison fellowship with you. We fellowship together. I get to hear your thoughts and stuff like that. And since today we're talking about justice reform, I want to ask you, where does the battle, in your opinion, reform start?
Okay, good question. First and foremost, reform has to start within the individual. In order for us to actually rely on society to do certain things for us, we as inmates, as prisoners, as men, have to stand up and be accountable for ourselves. We have to want this change more than anybody else wants it for ourselves. Now, having said that, it's imperative that we feel that people out there on the streets are trying to assist us. Through years and years of being deprived of certain opportunities to advance ourselves, to excel, to live up to our potential, it's actually put us in the position to whereas we feel as if we're fighting alone and our fight is in vain, that the powers that be are just too strong against us.
That's powerful, bro. That's powerful.
They are strong. That's why we call this the plantation. Mr. Charlie got a lot of pull.
Yeah.
You do,
so,
for sure.
So as we begin to feel the love of the people out there on the streets, and we do our job in here, we're spreading that love around, it should boost the morale of the people in here. And it's definitely time for a change anyway.
Okay. All right, so staying on that same subject, at one point during your incarceration, did you realize that you need to change?
Ooh. Now, that's a heavy question right there. Okay, so at what point in my incarceration did I determine I need to change? I recognized it early on. But recognizing it and actually putting it into motion is two different things. I was locked up 7.5 years in the state of Florida. I got out for less than a year. I came back. Wayne County Jail, 3 fights before the year even ended. I got locked up in May. Before the year ended, I had already had 3 fights with 3 different people, 2 rounds on 2 of them and 1 round on the other one. I recognized right then that I needed to change, because if not, that anybody could just trigger me and I just lose it. Now, what I began to do from that point forward is to tell myself I was going to disassociate from certain things such as drugs. I wasn't going to steal. I wasn't going to extort. I wasn't going to do many of the things that I had grown accustomed to doing while I was in the state of Florida just to survive. However, being confined for so long, I still had a prison mentality. And this prison mentality had me to the point to whereas certain things I would accept, certain things I would not accept. I wasn't scared to fight. I wasn't scared to stab. As a result, it costed me being prosecuted in here 5 separate times. Now, these are times for when I wasn't actually initiating the problems, but I had certain morals about myself, respect about myself, where I felt like if this happened like that, then I had to do this like that. This was the wrong mindset. But this change really came about in September 2016 when I arrived at PCF.
Powerful,
All right.
powerful.
Heading in the
That's
right
powerful.
direction, making a change.
Yeah, we heading in the right direction. We heading in the right direction, for sure.
So since 2016, I've known you for a number of years now, and since 2016, you're always constantly beating the drum about prison reform. We need good time. We need caps on life sentences. You know, now we need the Second Chance Act. So we know that you're making your change in here. I know that. I can attest to that.
Most definitely.
What are you doing to help assist the people on the outside to help them make the change out there that we need?
Okay. All right. So some of the things I'm doing to assist the people on the outside is staying in touch with them. For example, Keith Hudson of Helping Those Left Behind is an individual who myself and Mac Tigger actually sat down and brainstormed an organization idea with, and Keith Hudson got out and put it in motion. Unfortunately, his main focus right now has to be real estate. He's trying to build the financial wealth that we need to re-enter society again. Although I'm in touch with various other organizations, such as TARP. And you can find, matter of fact, you can find Helping Those Left Behind at www.helpingthoseleftbehind.org. You can find TARP at the very same thing, www.restorative.program.org. Now, TARP is big on the Second Look Act as well. And so me and my partner, Mac Tickert, we've been providing information to them on everything they request. So when they request anything or we see that there's an opening, we immediately write something for it, or we go out on the yard and try to gather the troops together. So that's two organizations we're working with, including MJA. MJA, Michigan Justice Advocacy, when they request something, we provide the information they need, write up little stories, articles, etc., get people on board on the outside and the inside.
Okay, that's the truth right there. That's the gospel right there, buddy. All right. So that support, right? How vital is having support in the fight to reform, right?
Okay. When it comes to support, it doesn't stop with just doing something in society. It really does much more than that. I've already mentioned it one time. What it does is it motivates people. It stimulates them. It shows them that somebody is fighting with me. It shows them there's something to be won. Okay, but it has to look like real action. See, people can't just send a newsletter, once every month or two and tell you, well, this is the changes that's going on, and for you to translate that into I feel that support. It translates into support, but it's such a small amount that it isn't enough. What is needed is to have all hands on deck. That when we sit down and we say, you know what, it's lacking right here. What we need to do is we need to reach out to entertainers. What we need to do is we need to reach out to public influencers. What we need to do is reach out to social media gurus. Then we have somebody say, all right, how do you want to reach out to them? And then we sit down, we're already in tune with the pulse of the people, and we devise a clear, efficient plan to get from point A to point B, and then we say, we need your hands and feet out there to do this. We should not have to ask that question over and over. Have you done this? Have you made a simple phone call?
Okay.
Have you merely Googled a simple one-page document that I've been waiting on for 3 weeks? to get to the next level. No, we need hands and feet right then, right now.
Okay. That's powerful, bro. That's definitely powerful.
Uh, for me, I think one of the biggest things that we can do, and I know that people are constantly saying this, but I truly believe it is, we have to convince society that we're worth saving. And that's one of the reasons why we do this podcast.
Right.
We want to show society that we're normal people who made a mistake, that not everybody in here is monsters. And that's why I really liked all the letter writing campaigns that we do. When we write letters and we talk about who we are, where we're going, and we send them out. I really like that a lot because the people who read those feel in touch with us. And once they feel in touch with us, they still feel like they want to help us. I just wanted to add that because I think that's an important part of the whole prison reform movement.
Yeah. When it comes to convincing society we are worth saving, listen, that's an everyday struggle that I have. I know that I'm worth saving, but getting the message to those in society is sometimes real hard because our voices are stifled in here. That's why I really appreciate this podcast, because it gives me an opportunity to be heard. When I come to prison, my mother was moved around from approximately 17 different residences in my first 12 years before she passed form. And so while she was doing that, I'm fighting with everything I have, to get back out there to her. But unfortunately, I couldn't get back out there to her. But the message that she left with me is one that is taking me forward. For everything that she couldn't do in her life, I'm doing on her behalf right now. For everybody that she loved, she said she was a giver with nothing to give. I'm showing her that you gave the world me, and now I'm giving in your absence. And so I know I'm worth something. Every single day I wake up, I try to assist people. I try to better myself as well as better those in society. Because when I look at views with criminal justice reform, I'm not looking at just how it benefits us in here. I'm also looking at how it benefits society and the harm that's coming to society by continuing to hold its prisoners in here for such a long period of time.
Okay, powerful for real, bro. It's the gospel, bro. Speaking of society, right? What do you say to the person that looks at you like, oh, you committed a crime? It could have been my family, it could have been my daughter, it could have been my grandmother or my mother, right? What do you say to that person that says you deserve to be here?
Well, first of all, I acknowledge that if they say that to me, they're right. I did commit a crime. I hurt many people. I hurt myself. I hurt people who love me, just by the bad actions that I've taken in life. However, it comes to a time and point where you say, do I want to keep on punishing you and hurting society, or do I want to allow you an opportunity to rehabilitate yourself and be an asset to society? Michelle Alexander said it best when she said, I am a criminal, so are you. She spoke to those people at Vanderbilt University. Everybody breaks the law. Some people are caught, some people aren't.
Right. Most definitely.
That's the truth. Everybody that's ever drank a little bit of beer and drove, everybody that's walked across the street when they weren't supposed to. I mean, I know these are small things, but yep. Small things, small crimes are still crimes, and they add up. I mean, it's just the way society works. We're a nation of like thousands and thousands and thousands of laws. I once seen a federal prosecutor in an interview on the news, and he said that every American breaks at least commits three federal felonies a week, and they have no clue they're even doing it. And that stunned me. Stunned me.
Yeah.
That's what we've come to. But to me, that's a big part of what criminal justice reform is about, is trying to change the mindset of our entire country. This putting people in prison shit doesn't work. I get it. They're scared of us, But I mean, lock away and throw away, lock them up and throw away the key clearly didn't work. And other nations around the globe have figured out that rehabilitation is the way to go to fix the person. Don't just punish them, because punishing them doesn't do shit. So you punish me for 30 years and let me go. Okay, well, if I was a maniac when I came in, I'm going to be 10 times a maniac when I come out, because you spent no time trying to heal me. Help me get better.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, B.S. Skinner, their leading psychologist, okay? And what he says is basically, if you reward somebody for doing something, okay, they'll keep continuing the same behavior for the same reward. So we have an opportunity right now to create things such as Good Time, the Second Look Act, and various things along them criminal justice lines, to go ahead and give people incentives for staying out of trouble. And then guess what? Just like riding a bike, after they learn how to ride a bike, they might say, you know what? I should keep on doing right. You know, I'm getting from point A to point B.
Yeah. They'd be like, hey, yeah, I should get a job. Let me get a job and go work in society and not break the law. Right. That's perfect. That's exactly how we want people to think.
Definitely. And that instills confidence within the person, the individual, right? If they see that there's like that progression in themselves, right, they would bring along. Each one teach one. They would bring somebody else along to that destination as well. So it's vital for sure.
Right. Okay, so there's a saying that says hurt people, right? But I also have a saying that I've developed in my mind over many years that helped people help people. And I got that from going to AA. You know, helped people help people. When you help somebody, they pass that shit along and help somebody else. And I'm not talking about giving somebody a free ride and I'm just giving them money and here, do what you want. I'm talking about helping them to be better humans, encourages them to help somebody else to be a better human. And that's just the fucking way it is. It's human nature. We're a herd people. And we go with the herd. When the herd is helping, everyone helps. When the herd is hurting, everyone hurts. And that's a fucking fact.
Exactly.
Look at the Nazis.
Exactly.
The Nazis. When they were doing bad, everyone all of a sudden it was right to do bad. They were doing fucking horrible shit. No? And then, but when you get a society where when you get the top down starts to do good, then everybody thinks it's great to do good. I mean, so we just have to change the mindset inside of prison and that'll help us to change the mindset outside of prison. Because all the people going home who aren't getting in trouble will be like beacons of light. People who are out there. They'd be like, look at this dude. He got out of prison. Oh my God, he works 60 hours a week harder than everybody else. And he stays out of trouble. He's not drunk. He's not doing drugs. He's a great family man. Then that shit would say, if he can do it, holy shit. People out there are going to be like, I can do it. And next thing you know, fucking we've changed society.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely, bro. And I hate to say it though, right? But most of us, and you and Jerry can attest to this, we have to come into to prison to really bring this vision into fruition, right? A lot of us don't. Before I heard this was the best institution next to, even better than college, right? It's the best institution because it gives you both. We give you both sides of the coin. Bad, it teaches you how to, be alert, be aware of your surroundings and stuff like that. Then it teaches you to withdraw within yourself and extract those flaws and strive to perfect those flaws, right? Would you agree, Randall?
Definitely. Prison has definitely brought out the best of me. This is such a heavy pain on my shoulders that it caused me to fight, to want to change. And like I told you in the beginning of the podcast, the change becomes with myself first. So that's why I began changing that internally. Like I hate what's going on with me right here, and I'm seeing how oppressive it is. Therefore, I have to be part of the solution instead of part of the problem.
Most definitely. Most definitely. A lot of us don't realize. So what do you say to the incarcerated man that's incarcerated in mind and in body, right? Because he don't realize his full potential. What do you say to that person that's walking the yard by himself, that's looking down and not keeping his head up?
I would tell that person that he is part of the problem, unfortunately. You know, it depending on who the person is and what the setting is would determine how I actually told him that. But that's what it boils down to. If he wants to see change, he got to become that change. You know, you got to actually think something, speak something, and act on whatever it is you're thinking and speaking in order to manifest that. You know, if you sit up here and you devote your time to nonsense, that's what you're going to get back. Now, if you sit up here and you labor for that which is right, that which is just, that which uplifts humanity, then that's what you're going to get back.
For sure.
Definitely.
Glass half full.
That's
you got to teach them to be glass half full.
Yeah.
Right, Jerry. Yeah, for sure. You hit it on the head, buddy.
All three of us, people say to us all the time, Jerry, Seven, Randall, how the fuck can you be happy? How are you smiling? How is this possible? Well, it's possible because, hey, we're looking at the world glass half full. We're looking at the brighter side of things. We're trying to be better and not worse. And, you know, it is what it is.
We all see disaster, we see opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Most people see disaster, we see opportunity.
Yeah. Every adversity isn't doing anything but strengthening us. You know, if we accept the right message out of it, we can use that to not only better ourselves, but to better humanity.
Right.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Right.
Okay, before we leave, could I
go ahead?
Yep,
hit it.
Before we leave, could I give my prison number so in the final plea to the people? All right, my prison number is 289197. If anybody's hearing this message, please get on my JPay. Please allow me to share some of my passion with you and maybe help you in helping us in here. Thank you.
Yeah, and by JPay, he means jpay.com. jpay.com. That's what
jpay.com.
Thank you.
All right, now listen, Randall. We close. What we do here live from the plantation is break the chain. So I'm going to ask you, what do we do here live from the plantation?
Break the chain.
You say you break the chain.
That's right. Break the motherfucking chains. Close us out, Seven.
Most definitely. Thanks again. This is XV3 The Red Zone, live from the plantation with Jerry.
Thank you for using GTL.
And Randall, the great Randall. Peace, man. Everybody.